Hi there, folks. We are Travel with Johnny and Will, and we have just boarded Azamara Pursuit in the port of Civitavecchia. No,
Civitavecchia.
What?
Civitavecchia.
Civitavecchia? No, it's
Civit-
Civitavecchia.
Civitavecchia.
We got there. So we are about to go on our 7-night cruise around the Mediterranean.
So basically, we got a transfer from Hilton Rome Airport, which all went very smoothly, all the way to the port here at Civitavecchia. And basically, the way it works is the car and every other car that we've seen for other passengers arriving literally arrived right at the little marquee thing for the embarkation of onboard Azamara Pursuit. So upon arrival, then our luggage was taken off us. They requested our room number or cabin number, sorry, and then that was taken off us. And then we were directed to the check-in desk where we received the cruise cards for the cruise.
Yeah, so it was really smooth, and basically, we just told the lady our cabin number. She obviously registered our credit card and things like that, and gives us our cruise cards. And then we were asked then to wait. Embarkation is 2 p.m. and we were super early. So
We were there about 11:45,
yeah,
so it was really early.
so we were there 11:45, but basically we were told to wait in this seating area, and basically Azamara had laid on some hot drinks and some pastries and some sweet treats, and we just had to sort of wait and for our number to be called. So we were given a number. We were group number 43.
43.
And then
And I think it started at 40 because that was the first
yeah.
number they'd called to embark.
Yeah, so basically, at 1:30, actually, they started to call out name group numbers. So we didn't have long to wait, and then we were on board the ship.
So we went through security, which was really quick, and then we were allowed on the ship, which was very exciting. Then once we got on board, we were directed to our muster station, which for us was the cabaret lounge. When we entered the muster station, it was quite funny because we were handed a glass of Prosecco right away, and we were told to wait and obviously to watch the video, and then we can go on and explore the ship. Just to note, upon entering, our cruise card was scanned, and that meant that we had registered at muster.
Yeah. So it was an all-new experience for us. Yes, we've been to muster drills numerous times, but never have we been given a glass of bubbles.
No.
So big up to Azamara for that. It certainly made the process a lot less draining. So after we visited our muster station then, we decided we would go to the Windows restaurant, which is the onboard buffet. It was the place that was open this afternoon to get some light snacks when we boarded. Have to say, it's probably the nicest buffet we have been in on a cruise ship.
100% agree, yeah.
Yeah. Even just the fact that tables were set as you walked in with cutlery and glasses. And I never felt, one thing we don't like about cruise ship buffet restaurants is that we feel that we never have a meal together because somebody always has to sit nearly and mind the table. Because we've been on cruises. I remember, I think it was our second ever cruise we had went on. Will got up to get something to eat, and whenever he came back, there was this like Italian couple just sitting at our table with me, and I was like, I don't know who these people are. So it was so nice just to go in and feel quite relaxed that our table was our table, and that we didn't sort of need to keep an eye on that. So we had the food was really good though.
Yeah, there was a good selection of food, and
yeah, I started off with having like a little bit of quiche with a salad, and like a sausage roll with that, and then I had some little cheese and ham sandwiches, and then of course I have to have dessert. You had a bit of a selection too.
yeah, I had a salad as well, and a little pizza and the quiche as well. But what I really liked about the buffet from the first time being in it was that everything was in basically right at the back of the ship. It was like 2 rows like facing each other, and everything was there. You didn't have to like go far away. Everything was in one place, and we had a table right next to that, so it was super handy.
Yeah, I think often in cruise ship buffets, you sort of think, because things are repeated so much, you sort of think, oh, have I missed something, you know, you know, is there something nicer or something that I would want compared to what's here and I've seen. But yeah, having everything in that one place was really good.
It was good. And then again with the drink service, someone was straight over asking us, did we want wine or did we want any other drinks from the bar? And that was just really special, I thought, for a buffet restaurant.
Yeah, one of the things that we didn't realise whenever we booked with Azamara is that standard on Azamara bookings, you have complimentary drinks. And we'll maybe talk about maybe a bit more about that maybe later on the cruise. But there is quite a selection to pick from. So after then we had something to eat. We went out just to see what the pool deck was like. We had a walk out there, and of course then we were greeted by the people at the pool bar.
And surprisingly at that point there was nobody else there, so we thought, oh, we'll make the most of it and have a drink here.
So we got a seat at the bar and we got chatting to some of the bar staff, and had a couple of cocktails, as so did you, and they were really nice, and it was just nice sitting there. The weather in here in Port isn't great today, but
it did brighten up during that pool visit.
Look, it's far better than what we would have back home in Northern Ireland, so we're on our holidays. The sun was shining at some point, so we're definitely on our holidays.
So usually in the first day we always try to visit the spa just to see what it's like and see if there's any treatments we might want to go and have. So we went to the spa, which on board is called the Sanctum. So we went round and had a look at some of the treatment rooms, and I think there's like a hydrotherapy pool. Again, it's outside, which is a bit funny for us. It's probably not something we'd want to do. And then we entered the prize draw for spa credit, and I think, was there something else? What was there?
Yeah, no, it was spa credit.
Just
basically,
spa credit,
there was $500 worth of spa credit available to win, but everybody then was sort of ushered into the gym. Yeah.
That felt a bit weird. It felt like we were ushered in for that, even though we didn't really plan to be there to see the results of the spa draw. But ultimately, the main thing was that if you'd entered the draw, that you had to be there in order to claim your prize. So upon the first announcement for the first $100 credit, our number came up and it was my name.
It was Will's number, and Will did a little celebratory dance.
No, they asked you to do a dance, Johnny, so I had to do a dance.
Before his name was called out, folks, he was like, I'm not doing a dance if we win. I'm not doing a dance if we win. And I think then you probably would have thought, oh, if our number's called, I'm not going to say, it's me.
But then he said the number and the name, because obviously I put in our number and my name, and you put in the same number and your name, and then he said my name.
But it was really good crack, as we say in Northern Ireland. You know, there was music playing, the spa staff were really having a great time, and they really G'd everybody up and things like that. And I have to say, it was used a wee bit as a sales pitch, you know, because it like say 70 or 80 people in one room, and they were sort of advertising the different services they had at the spa. But it was a fun sales pitch. So definitely, and this is the first time we've ever won really anything on a cruise. We did book our spa treatments. It is worth noting though, however, if you win one of the $100 vouchers, you can't use it on anything that's discounted in the spa. So we availed of a manager's special, which we'll chat about in another video, but we couldn't use it off that, so we will have to book something else.
So then after our visit to the spa, we came down to our cabin and we unpacked, and then I went around and did a quick filming for our cabin tour, which will be coming on the channel shortly. And then obviously sail away was around 5. No, it did leave a bit later. It's only left about half an hour ago. So we
left about 5:30.
Stood out in the balcony and had a little watch it to sail away.
So our plans now is we're going to get changed and we're going to head to Discovery's restaurant. Earlier on, whenever we came on board, there was a waiter who had asked us if we were going to dine tonight.
And this was straight after the muster.
Yeah, so straight after the muster. He was there and he says, look, it is quite a busy cruise, therefore we're sort of asking people, you know, if they want to have a rough sort of dining time. So they give you a little card with your dining time on it. I think they're just trying to obviously make sure that people aren't arriving at the same time. So I think we'll be okay. We chose 6:15, so we're going to get ready now and we'll head to Discovery's restaurant and we'll show you a little bit about that later. So we rocked up at 6:15 and we're pretty much seated
right away.
Right away. We had a beautiful table right at the aft of the ship, next to the window. It would have been great if it had been lighter outside, but it was still beautiful to watch, to look out. As we sailed away then from the port for Rome. So the food, well, every night they said that they seem to have like a speciality or like a theme.
Yeah.
And last night it was Indonesia. So I sort of had a bit of a mix match because my starter, I basically had the soto ayam, which is like a lemongrass ginger sort of soup, chicken soup.
Yep.
And it was really, really nice. Then for my main, I actually had like a butternut squash risotto. It was really, really good. Like I can't fault it at all. However, I then got food envy whenever Will's was sat down in front of him. And then for my dessert, I had a mini baked Alaska, and there wasn't really much mini about it.
No, it was quite large.
But it was the first time I'd ever tried baked Alaska, and it very much pleased.
So I pretty much got all of the Indonesian themed items for both starter, main, and my dessert. I'm just going to read off what I got because they're quite difficult to pronounce. So I had the gado, which was like a tofu salad.
Was there avocado on it too?
I don't know what was in it, but it was really good. There's a little bit of chili in it and stuff as well. It was really, really nice. And then for my main, I had what was called a daging radang. I'm totally murdering the pronunciation, but basically it was like these thin bits of beef over a small like bowl of like really like sticky rice and this like nice sauce. It was really, really beautiful, but it was quite small, but it was really, really nice.
I'm getting jealous again.
It was really, really nice.
Yeah.
And then for my dessert, I had what was called a sarang simut, which was sort of like a sticky toffee pudding, but it was a little bit more, like I said to John, it was more like on the burnt end, like it got a bit more caramelization on it, and it was just amazing as well. It was so, so nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the food was really great. The service,
so
it
quick.
was so quick.
We were done in like an hour.
Yeah. And because the food just kept coming and coming, and the waiting staff every time, you were drinking rosé wine, and probably why you had a fuzzy head this morning. However, as soon as your wine was nearly finished, they were straight over more wine. I stuck to plain Diet Coke, and again, one of the things that sort of and this sounds really silly, but like when I ordered a Diet Coke, they brought a tin of Diet Coke, they poured it into the glass, and then what was left of the tin, they took away and they left it sitting on like a sideboard. And every time that they saw that your glass was nearly empty, they used your tin to top you up. Now, I know that sounds silly, but whenever you're sitting at a table for two, sometimes whenever you have like a wine glass, a glass of water, and then a soft drink glass, and then a tin of Coke, and everything else in the table just becomes cluttered. There was no chance of that happening as soon as you finished with your side plate.
Yeah, but some people might be like, oh, I'd rather just have the Diet Coke there, so when I need to top it up, I'll do it myself. But it wasn't really an option for you. But I guess it was more.
But it wasn't an option to have an empty glass either, because it was always straight over.
Table tidy, yeah.
But then after that, we headed out of the restaurant and into the bar next door, which is called the Discovery's Bar. And so obviously it's perfect for a pre or post dinner drink. And we just sat there just to sort of see what it was like, and we had one drink before then we headed on. But really nice chilled bar. Again, you can either order at the bar, or if you just take a seat, the bar staff come over and take your order. But literally no drama.
No, nothing. No. So as we had finished our meal so quickly, we had this time between going to the captain's introduction thing in the cabaret lounge. So we made our way to the den and the bar within the den, which is called Spirits. And it was a beautiful big bar, and there's this really sort of relaxed sort of atmosphere about it. There was a pianist playing songs. The crew were sort of singing the songs along with her, and everybody just seemed to be really chill and laid back and really quite enjoying it. And to be honest, we probably could have sat on there if we didn't have to go to the cabaret lounge. It was just really nice. And again, getting a seat, getting service, it was just no bother at all. It was so easy.
In fact, later on, actually, we had heard during the address from the captain and the cruise director that currently on board the ship there are 515 passengers. So the ship's not full, and there's about 390, I think he said, crew. So it just sort of shows you that nearly, the crew are only slightly outnumbered here, compared to most ships that we've certainly travelled on before. But it was a very relaxed feeling in that bar, and like you said, we could have sat on. The pianist was great.
Yeah, she was good.
It was really good. Okay, so after our drinks, we headed into the cabaret lounge. So this ship, it's quite small and it doesn't have a theatre as such. So instead it has the cabaret lounge, and we went into there basically for the captain's sort of address and toast, and then the cabaret show was going to follow that. So as we made our way into the lounge, you had the captain and all his sort of as first officer and all the heads of departments all sort of nearly lined up on either side, and they were greeting everyone as they came in and saying hello to folk. And one thing actually that the captain mentioned yesterday afternoon, which was very evident even for us watching them with other passengers and us watching them with other crew, is that Azamara do the whole fist pump instead of the shaking of hands. And it was, and I think actually after he mentioned that yesterday afternoon, I then became really aware of people fist pumping on the ship. So we got in, we got a great seat, and there was waiters walking around serving wine, and there was red and white and sparkling.
It was all like poured into like wine glasses or prosecco glasses. There didn't really seem to be beer on offer, but it was more like, oh, do you want something? Yeah, and I did see somebody order like a glass of orange juice, and that
the bar staff were taking orders, but like I say, most people just drank the wine that was being given out. So the captain's toast, he literally introduced all his sort of heads of departments, explained who they were, where they were from, give you a bit of an insight in terms of what their job is, and Captain Antonio is quite funny, and he, like I say, he introduced then the entertainment team as well, the cruise director and assistant cruise director. So after the address was over, then we had a toast and to wish us well on our voyage around the Mediterranean.
So then after that, it was time for the variety show. And on Azamara, it's done a little bit differently. So basically, anybody that's musical talent around the ship, i.e. the girl, the pianist that was playing in Spirits, before we came to the cabaret lounge, came to the stage and performed like a little number for us. And then the showcast as well, some of them did individual numbers, and then at the end they all did like a combined number.
I really liked it though, because for me, because on your first day you haven't been around the whole ship yet, you haven't seen all what the ship has to offer, it was really good sort of seeing like because we'd obviously read about who the party band was on board, because we'd seen their name in the programme, but we hadn't saw them yet. No. So they performed, and again, the cruise director gave a little bit of an insight in terms of each person before they come on to the stage to perform, and which I thought was really good though too.
Yeah, it was a wee bit like a taster almost to see who's singing on the ship, and if you like that person during this little taster, then you might be like, oh well, I might go up to that bar and see so and so, because I really enjoyed what they did in that initial variety performance.
What was really good as well was our cruise director Martin and assistant cruise director Nicholas are also performers, and that was something different than what we've ever really experienced before, because each of them sang a number two, and in fact Nicholas, the assistant cruise director, has a great operatic voice, which we didn't expect, but it was really good. And like I say, we were there, I think it was over an hour, the show. I think the show was over an hour in total. But it was a really good taster for what was about to come then on our cruise.
So after the show, we went up to the living room, which seems to be the late night venue on board. So the party band was up there for a little while before then a DJ set came on, and that was just a really sort of party vibe. But one thing we really noticed was that the music didn't really feel like it was loud enough. Like we could have still had a comfortable conversation, and the party band was only like not that far away.
Maybe it's louder if you're on the dance floor because that's where the sort of speakers are.
Yeah, just
And you know, it's not like there's speakers like all round the place. So
that's
maybe
true.
that's
Yeah.
why.
So the sound was coming
maybe
just from the stage.
Yeah, so maybe it is louder if you're like on the dance floor dancing. One of the things I've really found about Azamara Pursuit so far is that every venue has a very chilled atmosphere, which is something that we really are liking. Because most of the venues have got like sofas in it, really comfortable plush seating, and the thing is too, you don't have to look for a seat. In the lounge, they also serve late night snacks. So the buffet restaurant, which is the Windows Cafe, they don't open it late at night. But instead, in the lounge, they have a little section of the bar, which has late night snacks.
Yeah.
So they had little satay chicken skewers, they had bruschetta, they had little cheese bites. They also had these little dishes with olives and feta cheese and peanuts in it. And but it was plenty, you know, whenever you're just wanting something just to munch on when you're having a sort of last few drinks of the evening, it's sort of perfect. And we kind of enjoyed that as opposed to the fact that whenever we go to a normal buffet for late night snacks, we normally eat too much. Yeah. So it did sort of mean then that this morning, whenever we got up, we felt great and we were able then to enjoy our breakfast. Yeah, so that was our first day on board, folks.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us on our recap of our first day on Azamara Pursuit. If you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up down below and consider subscribing and clicking that bell so that you're notified of the next video that we post. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.